10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hail the Knights of the Gimmick Table, where we spit the truth at the infamous round table and your feelings get left at the door. I am Boogaloo. That is LowRyda. And that is Kaide Lothbrok.
What's going on,
Artist
boys?
formerly known as Stockade.
Yes. That's what I put in there. I put it formerly known as Stockade.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably the best way, man.
I don't think you shouldn't even have a name. You should have a symbol. Your name should be a symbol. Yeah.
I feel like I'll put one of these over the hat.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want to be fucking gone. I want to disappear, go live in a fucking cabin in the woods and never be seen again.
Here we go. But yeah, man. I guess first things first, let's pay some bills, right?
All right, let's do it.
Before we get to our awesome.
Let me get my sleeves.
I got you, man. There you go.
All right. So if you or anybody in your family is an athlete, then sleeves.com is for you. They offer a wide variety of joggers, compression shorts, compression pants, arm sleeves, joggers, dirty boxers, this I Love Mom headband. I mean, these dirty boxers are so cool. I think with the elephant trunk in the front, I like to wear it around the house sometimes. Sometimes I wear it when I mow the lawn. Matter of fact, I'm going to wear it for Missy tonight after the show. But we're taking it back old school, baby.
Don't get canceled. Don't get canceled.
Hey, no. Missy loves me. She won't cancel me. Anyways, if you use our promo code MWA Pod for your 10% discount.
All right. Well, yeah. Hold on. Now I just messed up and
no, you got it, man. You're good.
All right, here we go. HealthVape.com. Health Vape sells healthy vaping alternatives. All of their products have no nicotine. I repeat, no nicotine. And they don't use any harmful or addictive chemicals. So make sure you get yourself some of their vape and pod products and use our code MWA Pod for that 10% discount.
All right.
Also, right?
Yep.
Boom. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MWA World. Subscribe to us on all podcast platforms and YouTube, MWA Podcast Network. What else do we got?
Show them that shirt.
I was gonna say, where's the shirt, man?
Hold on. We'll get to that, guys. We'll get to that. Twitch.tv/MWA World. Follow us on there. Hit that bell, like, subscribe, throw us some bits, hook us up. We would love that. Also, what else do we got down here? That will be this here. Storefrontier.com/MWA World, where you can purchase this dope ass for the Gimmick Table t-shirt and show some love and support for your boys,
Also,
that was don't just tune into space. I was like, what the hell?
I'm sorry, Also, don't forget to tune into our other shows on the MWA network. You got Shooting the Shit Uncensored with Pierce Austin. That show can drop any day, anytime. He does not discriminate. And
also, you can get those shirts. There
you go. Yeah, Killing the Business with Kingpin Angel Medina and King Mega. That's a good show. That drops on Fridays at 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
And NXT Roundup.
you never know when
Pierce
Pierce's show is going to be on, but I think NXT Roundup is on like 8 a.m.
Wednesday.
Wednesdays,
Wednesday.
right? Or Tuesdays. I don't know. It's one on
It's
Tuesdays.
Australia time.
It's so
Well,
yeah. It's
It's kangaroo
Australia.
time. We don't know.
It may be Wednesday for Australia, Tuesday for us. What day does NXT actually air for us?
Tuesdays.
Tuesday. All right, so
Oh,
it's
yeah,
probably
Wednesday.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Look at that. We got our first comment already.
Oh,
What's
there
up,
we go.
Pops?
You know, that's my dad. He shows up to every show.
Hey man,
Every
that's
show.
good.
But he never showed up to none of my games.
Well, look, you can cry. You can cry on our guest's shoulder when she comes on
Yeah.
right now. Here we go.
Hey,
Hey.
Missy. What's
Missy,
up?
how you doing?
Hi guys.
What's
Thank you for
going on?
joining us.
How you been?
Hi Boogaloo's dad. Thanks for coming.
Hey,
I'm good. I have a question. That health vape, they got any with THC in it?
that's a good
You
question.
know what? I don't know. Wait.
Go look into that.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
get on that.
check out their website. Maybe you can find
If they
something.
did, Homicide would be the spokesman for.
And also if they do, you can always use our code 10%.
I know. I noticed that. I'm gonna write it down later. So, how's everyone doing?
We're good. We're good. How
We're
about
living.
you? How's
I'm
the
good.
weather over there?
A little chilly, although I
Little
didn't
chilly?
really go outside today. Other than to open the door and get the mail. So,
Shit. Yeah, it was a little chilly here today too. It was like 75.
Oh god.
when it's a
Feel
little
your heart.
chilly, when it's a little chilly up here, it's like in the 60s.
Yeah. That's spring weather. I
Yeah,
love
Florida
that.
chill's a little different.
I love that 60-degree weather. I miss that.
Yeah,
But-
I that's the one thing I miss about up north is when it's cool, not necessarily cold. Yeah, I like the fall and the spring definitely.
You like the
but
changing of the leaves, LowRyda?
Well,
I don't give a
if you
fuck
like
about
that,
the
then
leaves.
you'll definitely
I
like
hate-
San Diego.
I hate cleaning up the fucking leaves. Is what I hate.
You want
I
to say
used
hi?
I used to throw them in the leaves. I used to give them like beals into the leaves.
Nice. That's what I got a stepkid for. He cleans up the fucking yard.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Slave labor.
Free
Like
slave labor.
Megalith.
Yep.
So let's get it started. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So Missy. Oh, look who it is.
Huh.
Hey, we got Foxy here.
Hey, Fox.
Yeah.
Oh
Hi,
my
sweetheart.
We got Foxy on there. And well, and Foxy's gonna be our guest next week,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, she'll be our guest next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Next week.
Yep.
Look at that. My pop says 48 in New York tomorrow. But yeah, we got the little flyer for next week. Make sure y'all tune in for that one right there.
Look at that.
Yay, it's
Foxy
my
gonna
girl
be on,
Fox.
Agent like fine wine there.
She's a vampire, man. She don't
Gotta
age.
Yeah, she's not
get some
aging.
plugs.
I'm aging for all of us. She's not she's not aging at all.
You got
God.
a Miss
Yeah.
Bethany Phelps that says, Missy, how are you?
Hi, Bethany.
That's one of your friends, Missy?
Someone I met online, wrestling fan.
That's awesome.
Okay,
Hey,
sweet.
Bethany,
Well, hey, thanks for
welcome to the
tuning in.
show. Tune in next
Subscribe.
week. Like and subscribe. So-
Bethany, these are my friends. That's Boogaloo. That's LowRyda. That's Kaide.
Yeah. Mr. Lothbrok. All right, so Missy, I never, as long as I've known you, I don't know I just know you were just this badass chick that just came in smacking bitches. But where'd you get your start?
Don't call them that, Louis. That's offensive.
I just
Oh yeah, and I promise not to get you
Sorry,
canceled.
Sorry, bitches.
Listen, no,
I am a bitch. That's not
Hey.
offensive. I started training at a little old gym called Hawkins in Philly. It was like on a back road. It was an old 2-car like body shop.
Is this the
Type deal?
same? I think this is the same place Joker was telling us about, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah.
There were 2 little gyms in Philly. Hawkins and then I forget the other guy that had the other gym. Joker and G started training at the other gym. I was training at Hawkins.
Okay.
So it had like 2 bays, and was always a broken down car in one bay and the broken down ring in the other. Like I remember they used to have to weld the ring back together before every practice.
What? Where did you
Wow.
find this gym? How did you find this? Because I never heard of
Okay.
this gym.
Rewind. I started going to ECW shows when I was 16.
Okay.
Didn't know what independent wrestling was, like had never heard of it. Watched wrestling growing up. I'll glaze over. House fire. I end up having to move away from my house while they rebuild it for the summer. I'm kind of stuck inside flipping channels, come across ECW. And I'm like, wait, what? This is like local-ish? It took well over a year. Oh, I found out that one of my sister's friends from high school used to go all the time. Ironically, a week after I find it and show interest in it, I run into that girl at the food court in the mall. And I mentioned to her, like, oh, my sister said that you go, like, a bunch of the wrestlers. And she's like, yeah. So about a month later, my parents were divorced. I was flopping back and forth between my mom's house, my dad's house.
Okay.
And then my dad would let me go. Absolutely not. Was his 16-year-old daughter going to a wrestling show in Philly? Nope. But when I moved back to my mom's house, she's like, yeah, whatever, do what you want. So went to a wrestling show, met a bunch of people. One of the people I met was
in the building too.
Yeah, hey Dragon. One of the people I met was Angel Amoroso for ECW, that worked for ECW.
Oh yeah, my mother, Prodigy, right?
No, that's Angel Orsini. Different Angel.
Which one?
Angel Amoroso.
She was the original Angel, right?
Yeah, she the old beginning of the ECW show where it was Hack Myers painting a chick in a wedding dress.
Yes.
She was the chick in the wedding dress.
She was kind of thick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
So she used to run a Fed in Philly, like an Indian Philly.
Oh shit.
And the girl that was friends with my sister somehow gets booked on this show to wrestle. Zero training.
Nice.
I don't know anything. I'm a student. Like, I'm a kid. Me and my mom give her a ride to the show, watch the show, and everyone goes out to eat after the show. So we're at this really long table. And Angel is like across the table from me and one person over. My mom is sitting next to me. And they're all talking, and something comes up, and my mom mentions to Angel that I had always wanted to wrestle. And, back then, there weren't, I think in the entire tri-state area when I started training, there were 3 active female wrestlers. It wasn't like now where there's like a billion everywhere.
I think I know one of them.
Yeah.
She came from my school. It was Sweet Destiny, right?
She came along later. This was a little bit before her. This was a hair before her.
Wow.
All right.
And so Angel goes, wait, really? And my mom's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I'll train you for free just to have someone else to bring to shows to wrestle.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, okay. So she knew of Hawkins. So that's how I ended up at Hawkins.
Well, you got a better deal than LowRyda got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What deal did you get, Ryda?
You got about $750?
$750 to train at Gleason's.
Yeah. Because he was my brother, and I was responsible for him.
If I count some of the gyms I worked out at and like threw them like a $10 mat fee,
yeah,
for ring time, I've probably paid throughout my entire career maybe $30.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's good.
Yep. Because Hawkins was a $5 mat fee. I think I paid like twice, and then the guy who ran it was like, "Don't even bother. Like, you're fine."
That's cool.
And I was like, all right, cool. And then from there, I went and trained with Heidi Lee Morgan in New Jersey at her dad's place.
Why didn't I know that Heidi Lee Morgan?
She worked for WWE.
Okay.
And then
Wrestle Medusa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
the inaugural WWE Women's Champion.
Yeah,
yep.
Right before Boom McConnell.
Wow, look at that. We got Piers Austin in the building.
What's up, Pierce?
And we got
the boss,
Mike Tobin.
Oh, I was just about to say, is that Tobin?
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, Tobin. Hi, Craig.
Yeah, Craig popped on earlier too. I didn't want to really interrupt, but thanks for tuning in.
I'm doing great. Thanks, Craig. Craig used to bring me flowers and Betty Boop stuff to the WXW shows. He was awesome.
I remember Craig from WXW.
Yeah.
I remember him sharing pictures, giving me pictures.
Yep.
Back in the day. So definitely super cool. Very nice guy.
Okay, Missy, I'm sorry. We sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
That's okay.
So-
Yeah, well, no. I mean, that's how I found Hawkins and started training there, and then I started training with Heidi Lee. And they didn't charge me. She didn't charge me. I just had to take a train and 2 buses each way to get there. She was awesome though, because I miss you too. I would take a train and 2 buses, and this was back before like cell phones. The second bus would drop me off at a Wawa. I would use the payphone to call her and tell her I was at the Wawa. She would drive to the Wawa, pick me up. We'd go back to the house, work out for hours. And then her mom would call us for dinner. They would feed me dinner and then drive me back to the bus station to come home.
That's awesome. So not only did you train, you got free dinner out of it.
Yeah, I got fed and everything.
Damn, that
Can't beat that.
Was there other people training with you there
at Heidi's?
Yeah.
Yes and no. So it was Heidi and me, and then there was another girl who wanted to train. So Heidi invited her. She didn't really last very long. I think she lasted like 2 training classes.
Shit.
And then Amy Lee's now husband, this was well before they even started dating or like met, Artie was brought in because when I met Heidi, she had just broken her back the week before.
Oh shit.
Wow.
So she was in a back brace. So it's not like she could do everything with me. So Artie Palmer would come in and he was like my crash test dummy. Like I got to do everything to him.
So how'd you but how did you
Can't
meet her?
complain about that.
I'm sorry to cut you guys off.
How did I meet Heidi Lee Morgan?
Yeah.
So I got booked on a show to wrestle her well before I should have been wrestling anyone. Like I was not ready to step into a ring. And she broke her back the week before. So I get there and she still came. She was going to do like guest commentary or whatever. It was for Dino Santa, Triple WA. And I ended up working Sweet Destiny Little Genie.
Okay.
And what I will tell you was the worst match ever. I count my blessings every day that video footage of it has never appeared anywhere, and nor should it ever. And I will tell you that it was horrible, and probably 95% of it was me. I mean, when I tell you guys, like, the shit I was doing, like, she'd, like, go to whip me to one corner, like, corner to corner, and in my head, I should be, like, in that corner, so I would, like, run and, like, go that way. Like, it was bad. So we get out of the ring, go to the locker room, and both of us are kind of crying, right? It was, like, one of Little Genie's first matches out, like, was mine, like, we were, both of us, like, you know. So Heidi came in the back. She was like, listen, it's fine. It's fine. Like, you're fine. Like, that. And she was like, look, I can tell, you know, you both really have a passion for this. Like, so she gave us our phone number and was like, look, my dad has a ring in a building behind his house. You guys can come down and train. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Awesome. I don't even know whatever happened to Little Genie, man. Yeah. I remember she started a little bit before me. Damien, I know you out there. Do you remember? Because Damien was a year before me. I think she must have started with Damien, or maybe a little bit after Damien. But yeah, bro, we used to beat the shit out of her, and she was tough though. No,
that was the thing. Because when I started training, do you guys remember Flex Wheeler?
Yeah, we used to call him. What was it? Different Strokes, Gary Coleman.
Flex was like the head trainer. Like he would run training at Hawkins.
He's a good dude.
He is a good dude. I love him very much. But the first 3 months I went to train there, because like after the first or second time, Angel stopped coming with me. So I would go down there and train with whoever was there. And for the longest time, like I remember I would go in the back to change and then come out. And then like all the guys would be like circled up in the ring stretching. And I had to stretch on the outside. And then for like 3 months straight, they just beat the fuck out of me. And then I'll never forget
like part of the deal, right?
That was
yeah. So I'll never forget the day I walked out to the edge of the ring and they were circled up and I was going to start stretching. And Flex looked at me and like shook his head. He's like, "You're not going anywhere, are you?" And I was like, "Nope." And he was like, "All right, guys, slide back, make room, let her in." And then like I was allowed to stretch with the boys and, shit evened out. But apparently what they told me later was they they'd occasionally have a girl come in and she'd like train for like a month and then just quit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, I'm not going anywhere. So
Yeah, but that made you love it even more and want it even more. Like, it showed your heart.
yeah, that and it, I tell everyone I'm super grateful for that. Him, Ron Starr, like a bunch of them, because it toughened me up.
That's what's missing today.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
I
Pierce
feel like
Pierce had a
that's
question.
Yeah, Pierce
You
did.
can
I
put
didn't
it up.
want to interrupt Missy.
He says, "Hey Missy, what are your thoughts on how women's wrestling has evolved and now considered the same level as men in a lot of companies?"
I'll be happier when women's paychecks are the same as men in a
Now,
lot of companies.
I got something to say to Pierce right now. Shut the
boy.
fuck up. Nah, just joking. Pierce. In all honesty, if you would have came to the northeast of United States in the early 2000s, the women's wrestling was doing. The women were doing their things. You had Missy, you had Mercedes, you had Cindy Rogers. There was women that could. Like I always hear people talk about Sarah Del Rey. Yeah, she was good, but nobody was touching. Nobody was touching Missy. Missy would kill somebody. Mercedes was a butcher. Nobody was touching those ladies right there. I mean, you okay, Kate?
All right.
I mean,
All right.
it just so happens that we get a performance center, then you get these four horsewomen, and then they're like the best thing since sliced bread. But hey, I think you guys
we
were
had
before your
a
time,
lot going on.
Missy.
Thank you.
I think the Northeast was before its time.
In women's wrestling, 100%.
It was before its time. The Northeast, like I look at it now, if there was a performance center back when we all first started, we'd all be on TV. Right
Yeah.
now.
I'd say
That's
so.
the way I feel. That's the way
No,
I feel.
I agree, man. I mean, I remember there was one show, Mercedes. I want to say it was Mercedes and Cindy went like an hour and a half on WSU or something insanity. Like they fucking went out there and they killed it.
Oh, I don't think that was Mercedes and Cindy. That was Mercedes and Angel Orsini.
Okay, it was one. I knew it was Mercedes. I just don't remember who.
I think Mercedes did another hour plus with Alicia Edwards.
Okay, it was. I know she did like an hour and a half. It was like something like blew away the Austin Aries one that was like an hour and 15 with Danielson.
Yeah,
And they went like an hour and 15 or hour and a half. I remember I left the building when it was like midway through, came back, and they were still fucking going.
What did you?
yeah. I mean,
what-
look,
what you
hands
left the
down,
building for?
Mercedes is.
What
the
happened?
best.
What did you leave the building for?
What did I left because Danny Moff wanted to go get something to eat. And it was a doubleheader with Mike Morgan. That's the truth.
Fucking mob.
He was like, "Coffee, fuck this. We gotta go get something to eat. We gotta wrestle next." I'm like, "Fuck it, whatever."
You got an hour. I could digest my food.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
How did I get
Craig
started
Weber,
managing the Untouchables? This is actually a hysterical fucking story. So back then, there were a bunch of us girls coming in all the time.
Right.
And, Alpha couldn't put 57 women's matches on a card. So he said to me, like, hey, I'm going to have you start managing. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool, I'll do it. So I'm in the locker room. It's in that building in Hazleton. We're all in, like, the basement locker room.
Right.
And
I love that building. That building.
That was a
so
dope
fucking
building.
awesome.
That was a dope building.
and what was his name? Doc Daniels
Cock Daniel.
comes up to me and goes, yeah, so we're going to have you manage this team, the Untouchables. I said, who is
Like,
that?
Who the fuck are they?
And he goes, Mark Gore and Anthony Michaels. And I look around the locker room and I go, who the fuck is Mark Gore and Anthony Michaels? And like he pointed to them. So I literally walked over. I was like, Mark Gore, Anthony Michaels? Like I didn't even know them.
Yeah. We didn't know them either.
Yeah.
And then
I
you
was
go,
like, all right.
Remember, I used to fucking butcher Gore's name and call him Al Gore all the time.
I was like,
It's
okay, I'm your
Al
manager
Gore,
now.
man. Come on.
But you want to know something? They would come every week, and they were doing singles for a little bit, and they were both decent. Gore was really, believe it or not, Gore was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put them together, and they became good, a good.
Yeah,
tag
good
team.
tag team,
They meshed together.
Yeah, they did to good. I used to love watching them argue. That was the funniest shit, watching them argue. But when they put you with them, it became more credible.
Mhm.
Like everything clicked, and in their favor. Because I think not long after you started managing, they won the belts, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were good.
I had a great time managing them. I'll
guys.
never forget the day that Doc Daniels came to me in Scioto and told me that they were splitting us up.
Yeah.
And they did the whole where they turned on me. Like I was upset by that. Like I loved working with them. Like I had gotten so comfortable that.
What was the reason
Doc Daniels just wanted to change shit because that's what he liked to do.
Yeah, I think they wanted to change it up. I was being pushed out, so they were going to put the Untouchables with Rob Dimension. When they split us, they told me I was supposed to get All Money Is Legal.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Nice.
But then that never happened.
Did they show up?
All Money Is Legal, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, because we used to drive them.
They were in the car with them.
You guys were in NYWC when they were coined All Money Is Late because they would show up late like every fucking show.
Yeah, with Guavo.
Yep.
Guavo would bring her to the show.
Tobin, that barbecue joint in Scioto attached to the
the
building was amazing.
That was the shit.
I used to stuff my face before the shows and have to shit my brains out.
Scioto, the place where I almost legitimately got killed.
Oh.
Man,
Do you guys remember they did that angle with I forget what the other weird manager's name was.
I know what you're gonna say.
And they tied a rope around my neck and tied it to the bumper of the car.
Yep, I remember.
What?
You don't remember this? We filmed it right before the show. We filmed it right before the show, and then the deal was that whole heel. We were faces at the time. The heels had like kidnapped me. So Gore and Michaels go to the ring, and then up on the screen, as if it's live, comes the heels have me like on my knees behind a pickup truck. They slip a noose around my neck that is tied to the bumper.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to take off with the car.
I remember because I remember that. That's why when you said it, I was like, wait. And then I remember it was the rope around your neck.
Yeah. And then the Untouchables go out, and then they come into the camera frame and save me. But when we filmed it, I didn't get my finger in the rope before he cinched it. Yeah. And I was legit being choked. Oof. And if the audio's up on the video, you see me doing this. I'm tapping my neck and going, shoot, shoot. And nobody did anything.
Yeah, Cabby made the noose.
Yeah, they all stood there and watched me and I'm like, shoot, shoot. And then so that we film it and it works. And I was like, guys. And they were like, oh, we thought you were like telling the camera to shoot. I'm like, no, I was being choked the fuck out.
I forget. The manager of that crew was that one we used to call the fake ass Barry Windham, the fake ass Widowmaker.
Yes.
I forget his name.
I can't think of it either. Yeah, but he lynched me twice.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. I know Cabby was in that group. So was CJ, right?
Is Cabby John Cannon?
Huh?
Yeah. If he was John. Okay.
Yeah, you remember him.
Yeah, he's a fucking. That motherfucker he was a whacked out dude.
Yeah, but he wasn't like a preacher or something like that.
We got the Bison in the building.
It wasn't preacher or something. Oh look, it's Mr. Wet Floor Sign Bravado.
Oh shit. What's that about?
Oh, we got booked for NWS used to do the King and Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
And I got called the morning of the tournament. Somebody backed out, so I agreed to come in.
Yeah.
And it was me and I can't remember the kid's name. Nice kid, I just don't remember his name. Against Bison and Amy Lee. I'm not mad about it. I think it's funny, bitch. And Gabby Gilbert and Z-Bar.
Oh, rest in peace, Z-Bar.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk ill of the dead. I love Tommy, but so we're all in there, and Bison's in there with Bar, and like Bison kicks him, and Bar loses his shit, rolls out, walks off. And it was elimination. They were supposed to get eliminated anyway, I think, but like not then. Yeah. So like Gabby leaves, and I'm like, shit, Bison's in the ring. My male tag partner standing there going, well, fuck it. So I get right in the ring.
Yeah.
To keep it going. And I'm assuming like fucking weapons were illegal because the next thing I know is there's one of those yellow clapper wet floor signs.
Those things stink.
And Bison's just smacking the shit out of me with it. And then he I'll never forget because he hits the shit out of me, goes to pin me, he's like, sorry. I'm like, it's fine.
That's funny. That is hilarious. Hey, do you remember I remember it because it was a crazy weekend for me. I had to wrestle in North Carolina, so I left New York for North Carolina, and I wrestled like 4 or 5 matches in North Carolina on a Friday. Then got in the plane and went to Panama City, Florida. I think you picked me up at the airport,
It
if
was
I'm not mistaken.
Pensacola.
Pensacola, yeah, yeah. And then you picked me up at the airport, and we did a show for Sika,
Mm-hmm.
and then which was pretty funny show because some of those students were hilarious. For Sika students,
I love that you're segueing into my promised story of the greatest compliment I ever got in pro wrestling.
Okay, well, we'll get to
There we
that
go.
then. All right,
Professional.
so
Boogaloo knows how
We've-
to come in.
yeah. So so we freaking go to the show. We get there early. We all training in the ring, and this girl, her name was Cricket, and like one of the trainers there, and he's training her and he's showing her all these moves and stuff, and I'm just, oh yeah, she's like, oh yeah, she's working tonight. She goes, we train our girls down here to be tough, so they learn to shoot so they could be tough, so they could be ready for anything. I was like, oh, okay, good. I said, good to know. And then so we go and the card is up on the wall. The locker room was upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And the
It
funny
had
thing,
the windows that
had the windows.
overlooked
yeah,
where the ring was, so we
So-
could all watch the show from upstairs.
Oh, so it was kind of
No.
like Hazleton. With
no,
that
but it was
aspect.
bigger. No, but it was
It was
bigger.
like a school gymnasium where
It
the
was a school
locker room
gymnasium.
was second floor. and the
With actual
gymnasium-
windows, not the cutout.
Yeah.
It was actual windows.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing I remember about it was because they tried to close the thing off so nobody could see upstairs. They could see the workers upstairs, but you could cut little holes out. Of the,
We were like cutting the corners out so we could
so
look.
we could watch. And I remember the little Anawai kids. They had the laser pointers, and they kept hitting the laser pointer on Supremely Great while he was in the ring, and like trying to get on his face. He came out and healed those little kids. He came back upstairs, but
Who was
we
it?
go.
Lance?
No, it was the other little kids. I think it was maybe. I want to say it was maybe Junior's kids,
Might have been.
not the Usos. The Usos were there, but it wasn't the Usos. So we had the card set up, and I'm look at the card where I'm at. I wrestled some kid over there. I don't know. I don't even know his name, but I bashed the shit out of him with a chair. And I see the card Cricket going against Missy and Talia, right? Which
Mhm.
is Velvet Sky. So I was like, oh, I got to see this shit because this girl can shoot.
Now I'm gonna pick up the story here,
Yeah,
right?
you go now.
So back in the day, everyone knew Boogaloo didn't like women's wrestling. Now, when I say that, before there's an uproar and they try to cancel Boogaloo, it wasn't his flavor, but I will say Boogaloo was always nice and respectful to every woman I ever saw him interact with. It just wasn't for him, and that's fine. But we all knew it. We all,
Well, it wasn't. I didn't like it. I like no. I didn't like the novelty act of women wrestling.
right.
Well, I like the ones that could compete, like you.
Well, hold
Mercedes,
on.
Cindy.
Don't blow the punchline of my story, bro. Come
Okay,
on.
good.
So, but back then, everyone just knew that you didn't like women's wrestling. Like, that was like a known fact.
Mm.
And we have that match, and I take the pin, and I'm coming up the steps into the locker room, and you were at the top of the steps because it's where the windows were that you could watch. And you've got like this half smirk, half smile on your face, and you're just shaking your head at me. And I'm like, great, because I know you don't like women's wrestling. I'm like, great, now I'm going to have to get it from Boog. I'm like, and I looked at you, I went, what? And you started laughing, and you go, you know why I love watching you wrestle? And I go, because clearly I think you're getting ready to like hit a punchline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And you're like, because you fight like a dude. To this day, the best compliment I ever got
Man,
in wrestling.
beat the piss out of that.
Hands
Well,
down.
you beat them both of them. You beat the shit out of both of them. But Talia, be honest with you, Velvet had no business being in that ring because I don't think she was
still
ever
green
trained.
around that time.
She was never trained. She was a manager. She was never really
Oh
trained.
no, I think she trained to wrestle. She, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't mind wrestling her. I didn't feel unsafe in a ring with her.
Right.
But then again, she was a good friend of mine, so I probably had something to do with it.
She was very green at that time.
Oh,
She
yeah.
had no business being in the ring. She was a valet. She was, like you said, like just we were talking earlier. She was one of the girls Pops used, like during the Samoan Cup. She was the one presenting the trophy.
Mm-hmm.
She no need for it to be there, but she was there presenting the trophy. But yeah. And then after that, we went out drinking.
There you go.
All I'm going to tell you is I am pretty sure that when I drove you to the airport the next morning, I was still drunk.
Oh yeah,
I believe it.
yeah. I remember peeing in a potted plant. You remember that?
No, but I had the IWA Cruel School van,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I had driven a bunch of people down on, but you had that booking, so you came in on a different,
Yeah, I had to
on a
leave.
flight.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I was
so
there
we went out
basically-
drinking all night, and then your
then
flight
she
was
took me
like
to the
way
airport.
early in the morning, and
Yeah.
you were like, shit, how am I going to get to the airport? I was like, I'll drive you.
Yeah, she took me to the
So,
airport. and then-
still drunk in a huge, like, 15-passenger van. I'm
Mhm.
driving Boogie to the airport.
That's amazing.
Oh,
I had to
no.
go. I was booked in Connecticut that afternoon, so I had to get out of there.
Superstar.
Yeah, for real.
That
Triple
was the,
shot.
that
huh?
was, that was yeah, the whole weekend. I wrestled like maybe 10 times that weekend.
Nice.
That was a busy
Yeah,
weekend.
Missy, you got another question here.
One of my favorite
Bethany
matches.
Phelps, what was your favorite match?
Probably, if I had to pick an absolute favorite, it would probably be the first time I wrestled Mercedes.
Where was
You
that
remember
at?
where it was? Yeah.
Yeah, it was for a company called NEW, which doesn't run anymore, in Rochester, New York.
Oh wow.
Oof, way up there.
I was going up and wrestling there all the time. Like, I was the steady girl up there. And then I would bring people in with me. And it was a
okay.
relatively new fed. And I had always wanted to wrestle Mercedes one-on-one, but had never. Like, we'd probably have done, like, tag matches, 6-ways. I'd never gotten... Like, that was my one-on-one dream match.
Yeah.
So, and they would give me a budget and let me book my own opponents. So I remember I hit her up the one day and was like, hey, like, what's it going to take? And I'll never forget it because the night before the show, we all wrestled in Connecticut. So it was me. I don't remember who all went with us, but I remember me, Mercedes, Mana was with us. I don't remember who else. But we did the show in Connecticut and then drove straight across New York to Rochester.
Wow. That's a drive.
That was a pain in the ass drive. But we get there and like we called everything and it just everything just clicked. And I think part of it was, I was probably shocked I could keep up. Like I didn't fall apart in the ring with her. And I think for me, that was
you got video of that?
Somewhere, probably packed away
that
somewhere.
gotta be on YouTube. That match.
It says not the night you reffed Ricky Martinez match in ECWA.
What he's referring to, it wasn't Ricky Martinez's match, so you're wrong, Dragon. You're thinking about the night about the night I reffed Mr. Ooh La La versus Mike Tartaglia, and Ricky Martinez did a run in and kissed me.
Oh.
I was reffing. He had to distract me.
Okay. All right. Was it a good kiss?
It actually was. The best part is, like, I'm going to tell this story now.
So wait, it wasn't a gimmick kiss? It was actually
No.
a shoot kiss? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good for him.
So I had I don't know, I had broken up with someone I was dating. I don't remember specifically, but I was really bummed. And I talked to Keiko the Flying Hawaiian that day. And I was like, yeah, I was supposed to just go hang out at the show. I was like, I don't feel like coming. And he was like, no, come down. Like, we'll take care of you. Like, just get down here. I'm like, all right. So I go down and I was working his gimmick table, just hanging out. And somehow I get roped into reffing. And then somehow this whole thing came to be where I had to get distracted so that Stacy Carter was going to come out, kiss Mike Tartaglia to distract him for Ooh La La to get the win. So then somehow it became, since that was going on, Ricky was going to run out and kiss me to distract me while that went on. And at the time, I was still a smoker.
Yeah.
So shortly before this match, I'm walking down the hallway in ECWA, coming back from having a cigarette, drinking a coffee. And he said something to me, and he's like, sorry, I just ate a Reese's. And in my head, I'm like, that's fine. And I go, I just had a cigarette and a coffee.
That's a good mix.
So, like, I start walking, which is when, like, the switch in my head flicks. And I'm like, wait, why would that matter? Oh. I run and get, like, a mint.
Yeah.
Like, I heavily mint my breath. I go and do this, and I remember, like, he runs out, gets up on the ring, and I'm, like, yelling at him to tell him to get down, and, like, he looks at me, like, and he goes, are you ready? And I'm like, yeah. And he grabbed me and planted one on me.
Oh, nice.
That was a great kiss.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I walked back in the locker room, and everyone was lining the hallways, and when I came back, like, the kiss got a standing ovation, which was ridiculous. But then, like, I pulled him to the side, and I go, I just feel the need to, like, tell you, in case you didn't know, that normally you're not supposed to. And he goes, no, I know. He goes, I asked Keikoa if I should gimmick it or rock your world, because we were trying to cheer you up. And Keikoa told me I should rock your world. And I just started laughing. I was like, all right. Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Well, here's something that nobody knows. Me and Missy had a shoot kiss once.
Oh, my God. Shut up, Boogaloo. This is why he wanted to tell me dropping him off at the airport story.
She kissed.
Oh, no.
We kissed like I was going away. Like she was never gonna see me again. Then I saw her next week. Hazelton.
When I was shit-faced drunk and dropped him off at the airport.
Yep.
He kissed me goodbye and then got on the plane and left.
There you go.
I think it was the gentleman thing to do. You right?
Au revoir.
Well,
Thanks for the ride.
It's like Casablanca. He just got on the plane and fucking was never going to be seen again.
Yeah. You know,
and then I saw him a week later, and it was like nothing had ever happened. It was like
only in wrestling.
We were sober, and now we were at work. Like everything was fine.
20 years later, she still remembers it though. That was a good kiss.
Well, clearly it was good for you. You're the one that wanted to bring it up and talk about it.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
I still remember it.
We should have that reunion.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Now all of a sudden I'm glad I didn't tell you I was in Orlando 3 weeks ago.
Hey, you would have went back to Pennsylvania pregnant.
Oh my nope. Nope.
All right, let's stop.
None of that.
LowRyda, me roasting soon enough.
This neighbor here.
This neighbor here. Anyways, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So where have you been working at recently, Missy?
Yeah, what's up to now? Yeah.
Thanks, LowRyda. Way to drive the car back onto the road. I stopped taking bookings like a year ago to wrestle. I'm too old and banged up now, so I'm just, I'm coaching at the Monster Factory.
What made you make that decision? That you was just trying to.
Which one, to coach or to stop wrestling?
Time to hang it up.
I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, okay.
So I live every day now in some sort of discomfort or pain.
Oh.
And it was getting pretty bad.
What was your last match? Like what was
my last official match was November 2020. I'm sorry, 2019. I wrestled Gabby Gilbert and Erica Lee in a 3-way elimination. I pinned Gabby and then Erica pinned me. That was my last official match. My last actual match was probably a little bit more than a year ago. Titan runs these all-girl shows in Jersey, and they were using a couple of the Monster Factory girls. Okay. So I went to hang out. And I used to have my boots and my knee pads in the trunk of my car for when I go to training.
Always have it.
Well, no, I didn't have gear. I just, I'm not taking bookings anymore. Right. But my boots and knee pads happen to be in the car for training. And I get there, and after I'm there a little while, Gabby Gilbert comes up to me, and she's like, so, like, one of the girls in the tag match didn't show up, and we were kind of hoping, and I said, well, my boots are in the car. So, and I said, but I don't have any gear. And, like, I was wearing, like, torn up jeans and a T-shirt. Uh-oh. So I ended up, thank God, I had a cut-off Missy Sampson T-shirt in the trunk, too. So I wore that and I Dusty Rhodes'd it and fucking
I was just gonna say that.
pulled my knee pads over my shredded fucking jeans, put the boots on, and I looked at her dead in the face. I go, I'm not bumping. She goes, that's fine. So it ended up being me and Gabby Gilbert against an old Monster Factory girl who doesn't train there anymore. Thus, she's not worth mentioning. And Debbie Kane.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll never forget, like, we worked this tag match. I didn't bump. I took the hot tag, bumped people, was, outside the ring for the finish. We get to the back, and it was outside, and there was, like, a long...
Move.
Huh?
I said pulled the real veteran move.
Yeah, like, I don't know. So I get, there's a long tractor trailer there that I guess they brought everything in. I go on the other side and literally just collapse on the ground. I'm, like, spread out, laying down, like... And somebody ran over to me and was like, wasn't that great? Don't you miss it? And I go... No, I don't miss it. I have a hard time telling people no. Stop asking me. I don't want to do this anymore.
That's great.
That's amazing.
No,
She's like, no, I don't miss it.
no,
awesome.
I don't miss it. Stop asking. I have a hard time telling people no. So just stop asking me to wrestle. Like, I don't want to anymore.
That's great.
Yeah. For me, I wanted to stop a while back, and I was like, man, it's still there. I just really, I miss it when I'm not doing it. Right now I'm coming off an injury, and hopefully soon enough.
Yeah, so for those watching, we will not be performing at USA Pro March 19th. We'll be
because you want to go to bed on the actual day of the show, or because you want to go to bed on the actual day of the show, or
no, he's still recovering from his surgery, so you can't.
Yeah.
I went into somebody else's show like 2 weeks ago. I got invited to a show in Delaware, and I go in, and the card's up on the wall on a piece of poster board, and there were 13 matches.
Oh, it's the worst.
And Black G's was on the show, and he's standing next to me when we look at the card, and he goes, 13 matches. I go, is Goodman here? And he started laughing.
No, he has 13A, 13B.
Yeah.
You have Craig Weber. What was your favorite moment in WXW from Sciotos and Fernwood days? Man, we had some fun in Fernwood.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
I'm a Missy wanting to kill some girl in Fernwood. I forget.
The off-duty police officer that I threatened to beat the shit out of.
Right. Yes.
You gotta tell that story now.
We did the show at Fernwood, and instead of villas this time, they got us a couple of rooms. And I may have had a crush on somebody who was supposed to be staying in my room. So
wasn't me.
It was not. Do you want me to say who it is?
If you want, feel free.
I don't give a fuck. It was Jay Busta.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I was highly intoxicated. Most of the good stories for me back in the day start with, I was highly intoxicated. So we were in the bar after the show drinking, and me and Buster were like talking all night. Not that anything was ever going to happen, but whatever. I get up, I go back to my room. Also sleeping in my room was Cindy and Mana. In my room was supposed to be Cindy and Mana, Anthony Michaels and Talia, me and Busta. We're all the people sleeping in one room.
Sounds like a setup.
Right? So I go back to the room. I put my pajamas on, which I'll tell you now were purple Eeyore pajamas. Like pants, looks like a t-shirt. Purple and Eeyores all over them. And it was after I had broken my hand. Because I had the cast.
I remember the cast. I remember that.
Here. So my hand's all casted. I go, I'm drunk. And I go, what? Before I left, I know what made me come back to the hotel room to get changed was I'm sitting there talking to Busta. And then somebody takes him away to meet this girl who, as I'll come to find out, was an off-duty police officer. So he left me sitting there for ever. I get pissed. Again, I'm drunk. Short fuse when I'm drunk. Back, change. The phone to the room rings. And I pick up the phone. And it's this girl looking for Randy, looking for Jay Busta. And I was like, and I fucking slammed the phone down, and now I'm just heated. I march back to the bar in my purple Eeyore pajamas. The bar, like, the music was off because it was after, like, they had stopped serving. I open the doors. He's, like, across from me talking to Sam, and I'm yelling, "Why is your fucking rat calling my room?" I'm livid. I fucking slam the door. I go back to the room. Busta comes in, like, a minute later. He's like, "Oh, my God. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, what are you talking about? Da-da." So he's trying to assure me nothing's going on, da-da, whatever. The next thing I know, there's a knock on the fucking door to the room. I open the door, and it's this girl. And I back up and open the door, and I look at him and look at her, and I'm like... So he goes into the hallway to talk to her and throws the latch in the door so the door's propped open. So I'm now motherfucking this, cursed, like, losing my shit. Pissed off. And who was it? Remember Gus?
Yes, the Dynamic Sensation.
Yes, his sister
okay.
and mom were there.
Yes.
His sister comes running into the room, grabs me and goes, "The door's open, everyone can hear you." And you guys know me. My response was, "I don't give a fuck."
Right.
And she says to me, so I found out what the other girl was. She goes, "You know, she's an off-duty police officer." Because I was threatening to fuck her up. And she's like, "You know, she's an off-duty police officer." And I go, "Operative words are off-duty. I don't see a problem here." So, like, they're trying to calm me down. So the next thing I know, Busta and this chick disappear. No clue where they go. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just mad. Now I'm drunk and I'm just mad. And we had a couple of rooms lined up. And we were doing the gimmick where, you know, a bunch of people had brought their own liquor. So, like, all the doors are open. You can go room to room and party. Yeah. Blame it on the alcohol. It was the alcohol's fault. So we... I got so mad, I literally went room to room. And I would walk in the room, and there's fuckers standing there with red Solo cups, and I would walk up to everybody, take your red Solo cup, chug what was in it, and hand you an empty cup back. I did this to a bunch of people. So I'm just getting drunker by the minute. I end up in Sam's room, trashed, like wrecked. At one point, I'm like sitting on the bed, and Sam's like, everyone's like, "Oh my God," because no one had ever seen me that drunk before. I'm usually the responsible one. Mm-hmm. And finally, I'm gonna go back to my room. And Sam's like, "Can you even walk to your room?" And somebody had brought this kid to ref, and God, I wish I knew who this kid was, because I owe him my life that night. I think.
I know the young kid. Yeah,
not one of mine. Somebody brought him.
It's the one.
But he happened to be in the room, and he goes, "I have a picture of him somewhere."
Yeah, he used to drive Sam around.
I don't.
Was he the kid with the batting gloves?
No, not that kid. I know who you're talking about. No, not that kid. Different. Somebody else had brought him and got him booked on the show.
Stick in his car.
So the kid goes, "I'll walk her back." So he walks me back. We go in my room. And again, I was smoking at the time. So I'm like laying on the bed. I'm like, I want a cigarette. And clearly I can't function by myself at this point. Mm-hmm. So I light a cigarette. Again, broken hand. This is in a cast. There's a picture of me like on the bed smoking a cigarette. This kid being as polite as he can, sitting on the other edge of the bed, just holding the ashtray for me. And we had one of those disposable cameras on the dresser. So Sam comes in to check on me. Sam took the picture that I have of this kid, like holding the ashtray for me. And
got a young boy.
Yeah. So then he's like leaving. So I get done the cigarette and I'm laying there for a minute. And all of a sudden, now I'm just nauseous. I go, I'm going to puke. You see Cindy and fucking Mana jump out of bed. The two of them and this kid are trying to help me, like, carry me to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And I then get drunkenly defiant and, like, rip my arms away. I'm like, I can do it by myself. At which point I end up taking a back bump on the desk in the hotel room and sliding to the floor. And I'm like, I'm okay. Can someone help me up? So they help me up. I'm like, I have this thing when I vomit, I get, like, anxiety. Like, I need to think that you can't hear me. Does that make sense to anyone? So, like, I'm never going to be the girl where you're going to have to hold my hair. Like, I need you a block away while I'm throwing up. You can come back when I'm done.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, I got this. I go into the bathroom, shut the door, lock it, puke my brains up, and slump to the cold bathroom floor.
Oh, that's the best, though. The bathroom floor is the best when after you puke.
And it's nice and cool.
I pass out, apparently. The next thing I know, there's pounding on the bathroom door. Apparently, I hadn't made noise in so long that now they were concerned whether I was alive.
Oh wow.
And it was Cindy and Mana. So I unlock the door. They come in. Mana scoops me off the floor, sits me on the toilet. Cindy's trying to pour like water down my throat to get me to drink something. All I wanted to do was lay the fuck back down on the cold floor and go back to sleep.
Right.
So like after like a minute of this, I looked at them. I was like, I'm gonna puke again. You got to go. So they leave. I didn't vomit again. I just slumped back to the floor. The next time I got woken up, I remember the door to the bathroom open, and it's Jay Busta. Like his head pops in and looks at me. And I go, get the fuck out. And I hit a beautiful spin kick the door into his face. Like,
Nice.
Get the fuck out.
Good.
So, like, 3 seconds later, I'm like, maybe I should just go to bed. So I army crawl from the bathroom. And, of course, the bed I'm sleeping in has to be the one furthest away by the window. I army crawl across the floor, pull myself up into bed. Busta's on the other side of the bed. I look at him and go, don't even touch me. And I rolled away from him and passed back out.
Awesome. That's awesome. Hey, so quick. Any funny stories that you could think of from the road besides beating up Jay Buster? Oh, did she freeze? Oh, Missy, fix your internet. Ah,
Hang on, I'm gonna mute myself. Try and think about something.
let's see. So, anyways, while her internet is acting up, it's probably that Pennsylvania cold weather. Hey, so Stockade, anything
Good
coming
thing
up?
it's Stockade.
Yeah, I got March 12th. I was supposed to be in a tag match with someone that I don't know if I can mention his name, but I think I'll be getting a replacement partner. But I got Excite Wrestling and I got Ace Wrestling against fucking Alvin Alvarez, which I don't know. You guys know Alvin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hold on.
he's there. She is.
There she goes.
Sorry about that. My computer just died.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, so you
Gotta keep it plugged in.
Did you hear the question?
No.
And any funny road stories you wanna talk about before we leave today?
Well, I think you outed all the ones that fucking I
Oh.
didn't want to talk about.
Well, anyways, I guess on that note, anything you got going on that you want to plug?
Just Monster Factory. We have a show this Saturday, Paulsburg, New Jersey. Bell time 7:00. You can probably go to monsterfactory.org, and I'm sure there's links to the tickets and everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all I got going on.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well,
And what
Missy,
days do you train there? So if people want to go down there and train with you,
any women want to go train with Missy
or men?
Well, I normally do Tuesday nights, but it's not like you can't just drop in.
Okay.
If you want to come train, you got to
Invite
hit up
only.
Danny Cage.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Train, you got to hit up Danny Cage.
And you want to plug your social medias? You still got your
Sure. My Twitter is @WrestlingMissy. My Instagram is @WrestlingMissy with the number 1. I have a Facebook under Missy Sampson that I hardly use, but it's there.
But yeah, if any inspiring women wrestlers want to check this woman out and she can get her vast wealth of knowledge of the business, shoot her a message. I'm sure she'll be willing to talk, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Definitely.
I love you guys. It was so great to get to see all three of you and chat for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Please keep in touch, Missy.
Kate don't fucking talk, but
yes, Chung, I miss you guys too, and you heal up.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
And I did. You have my number now, so do keep in touch. And
Yes,
you
please.
talk to Jazz. Let her know that I shot her my number earlier, but if you talk to Jazz, have her hit me up too. I like to
I
get her
will.
on the show
I will.
too.
And Kate, congratulations on losing a whole person. I mean, I think
Thank you.
found that person, but
No.
congratulations
Me too.
I appreciate it.
to you for
Pop says great
losing
show,
it.
guys and girls. And
Alright.
hold on, what we got here? Tizzy
Fizzle.
says, "Sorry, I missed you when you was at Tom Jones in PA."
With Socha, yeah.
Yeah.
2 years
Well,
ago. Miss you. All
But
right.
yeah, Tizzy, thanks for tuning in. Everybody, thank y'all for tuning in.
Thanks for
Missy,
coming.
Thank you for
I
coming
love you
on.
guys.
We do
I love you too,
appreciate
Missy.
you. We love you.
Absolutely.
And guys, about 5 more minutes, we'll be on
Yes.
with the Dawsons.
Yeah.
Stay
Double
on.
feature.
Be ready to click on and watch us with the Dawson brothers right after this.
All right,
So
Missy.
without further ado,
Love you,
Missy,
Missy.
miss you.
Take care.
Love you guys.
And we will talk to you guys soon.
All right. Bye.
Make sure y'all tune in for the Dawson brothers right there.
Coming on next.
Coming on next.
All right.